Hi, welcome to Clutter Bravado.
Yes, and it's the energy. It's not just about the stuff.
So we should probably just get into it, right?
Let's go.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm well.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It's a Sunday.
it is a Sunday.
It's a Sunday after Thanksgiving. Oh, what a weekend.
And I was thinking about it, driving here, beautiful LA,
Yeah.
setting up the Christmas tree. It's 78 degrees outside.
It's so
I'm
warm.
like,
It's
I'm
so warm.
totally
and
in
it's
the
so nice
Christmas
out.
in the Christmas spirit. Give me a palm tree and a daiquiri, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just talking to some friends about this last night. So I happened to go to a friendsgiving. I talked about this on the last episode, and we're from Wisconsin. So we were talking about the difference between Wisconsin winters and California winters, and how it's just such a breath of fresh air to have color in the wintertime. I love it so much because it's so grayscale in the Midwest. As soon as it starts to snow, you'll have like a beautiful snow day where everything
Right.
looks
Perfect.
like, oh, it's gorgeous. It looks like a photograph. Like it's stunning. And then the snow just stays there for like several months and it gets dirty and everything turns gray. I'm not trying to poo-poo living in the Midwest. I'm like, there are some really charming things about it in the winter, but I much prefer a day when it's
74
70
degrees.
78, 75. It was really nice today. Yeah, it's a really nice day. How was your weekend? How are you doing?
Good.
Yes?
Yeah, it's been very relaxing.
Okay.
So did a little bit of work and fun and a couple good dinners. It was great.
Yeah. Also, what the camera can't see right now is that this room is full of Christmas decorations that are about to go up. Holiday decorations that are on, not quite up. So it's a little bit everywhere. I can see it. They can't, which is good.
Which is probably good, yeah.
It's probably pretty good.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But you have your tree up.
Tree's up.
Some of the garland is starting to find its way around. I think that maybe by the next episode that we film, there'll be a few things that might be visible from here, right? Do you do something with the fireplace?
No, I
No?
don't do anything for the fire. Maybe I should.
You don't put up stockings for Santa Claus?
All right. Let's not push it. There's a Christmas tree. There are garlands.
I'm fooling. I know there's no way.
Yeah, I can't. This beautiful brass fireplace cannot accommodate. But maybe I'll do. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe I'll do a. No, there's nothing.
Okay,
sorry.
Great. Sorry. So no holiday decorations visible on the show.
But we will post photos,
especially from our holiday party that's coming up.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
Personally, it'll be my first one here.
Yes.
A lot of incredible people are coming. I wanted to bring up that I just watched it. So there's a season of $1 Million Decorator that is on Netflix. And I watched the season. And you know what's crazy? Is because it takes place in Los Angeles in 2011. I actually know a bunch of the designers that were on there.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that? All of a sudden now I'm in I sent out invitations to a few
of the
a few
famous
of the people that are on there.
famous $1 Million decorator. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've also heard that you're on there. Not on the season that's on Netflix, but on a previous season, correct?
I don't know which season is on Netflix. I've not watched it. Maybe I should watch it again. I'm just let's not talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Let's focus
Your
on
big
the
TV
stories
moment?
of
You don't want to talk about it at all?
my big TV moment.
Your big
that
TV
was,
moment?
Yes. The sweaty, nervous French guy who was on. No, the store looked good though, and Mary McDonald looked amazing.
Oh,
so let's leave it at that.
She is amazing.
She is amazing.
I really like watching her on the show. It's funny.
Yeah,
she's like, because everyone sort of has their like TV character archetype on there, and like Martin Lawrence Bullard, like there's something's always super dramatic and it's about to go wrong, and they have 2 hours to get everything perfectly in place, and I love the tension that's built up and the way they do that. But with Mary, it's really funny because Hers tends to be that she's just like, she has to get mean with her clients and be like, no, you're wrong. I'm right.
Which we know that Mary is always right.
I mean, from what I've seen from the show, people should just trust her more. Because all of her ideas tend to...
I think that people trust her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, she has that down.
She's a legend. That's so cool.
But yeah, they've all, I mean, I was lucky to know them then. And they've been great friends of Kimberly Denman and, you know, of the antique store when I had the antique store. So it's a fun group. The show was funny, but they're really talented.
Yeah.
All of them were.
They are. I hope to have a few of them on the show in the future.
We're working on that.
We are
working on that.
actively.
No, Martin, I'm not twisting your arm.
Martin.
Mary, come back. Well, Mary's spending a bit of time back east.
Oh,
but
wow.
We'll do.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
We will make it happen.
One at a time.
Yes. If we get Martin Lawrence Bullard on here, I will be so excited. I just love him so much. He's such a personality. He's so fun. Okay, moving on. We have other news. So there is something really, really cool that is coming out today. So when you see or listen to this episode of this podcast, something really cool is launching today. So Avenida Atelier is doing a giveaway. And we get to be involved in it, meaning basically, I'm just like, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to win something cool. I'm just trying to win some art. This is entirely, okay, you can win some art. So there are 6 artists that are getting together that are all under the Avenida Atelier umbrella that are offering up a piece of their work for free. Now, obviously not to everybody. This is each person has one piece of art. So can you list off some of our artists?
So Justin Ware is a video offering one of the cool sconces that we have one here. James Magni from Magni Home Collection is offering something cool, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's supposed to be really, really neat.
Yeah.
Natalie Douget is involved. Kimberly Denman. We're going to be offering one of our little ottoman, the little chanterelle stool.
Those are so cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have
Amanda Richards.
Amanda Richards is offering something.
Offering of a piece. Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
He's offering the name of his company.
Oh,
Transparent
Atelier. Yeah.
Is offering something as well.
So each of those artists is offering up a piece of art, and all of those are going to be given away. So there's 6 different opportunities to win something cool. So this is how it works. Basically, you need to follow all those people. We'll put them all in the notes on the show notes so that you can see all of them. Follow them on Instagram. Follow Avenida Atelier, obviously, and follow us. Naturally, because
we'll keep you updated.
Yeah, we're gonna keep you updated throughout this entire process. Also, we're gonna sit down with each of the artists for a little special episode, and I'm very excited about that. I just teased a little bit too much. I don't think I was supposed to let that secret out yet.
Well, it's no longer a secret, so it's all good. It's out.
Anyway, the secret's out. We're gonna do a special episode with all of the artists, so I'm super excited about that. But so basically, yes, follow Avenida Atelier and all of the artists that are involved, and then share the post. There's going to be a post up. We'll be sharing it all over our Instagram. I can put a link to it in the show notes here too. It's very easy. Follow and share. You can do it once. You can do it a bunch of times. But that's how you enter, and you can win a piece of art from those artists, which is so sick. All of the pieces too, I've had a chance to look at all of them and meet the artists, a bunch of the artists so far.
I know it's really exciting. And
so you're competing against me. I'm entering to win.
You're entering to win.
Yeah. Of course I am. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. But anyway, there's going to be a post that we're putting on Instagram today, and all of the links that you need are going to be in the show notes. I'll also put a description of everything in the show notes as well. And it's going to be for about a month. So you have a few weeks to follow and also subscribe to us because we'll be giving you updates. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. May the best person win.
We'll be posting images too. So it'll be good. And it's a really good group of artists and designers. So I'm excited about that.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, it'll be great. And all of them are also coming to the holiday party. So
there you go.
We'll get to hang out with them. Also, I've been picking all the stuff. Do you have anything that you want to add in? Because I'm jumping around today.
You're jumping around, but jump around because you have someone you want to talk about.
Do you know why I'm jumping around? Physically?
You're relaxed?
So much so. Okay. I need to talk about Be Unwell massage therapy. So this is my friend Amanda, Amanda Jane. She is a brilliant woman. She does body work, so that's including Reiki and massage, and she also is such an incredible healer. So I got to receive a session from her recently that was actually life-changing. And I know that sounds really like, okay, that's hyperbole. Like you don't really mean that, Elyse. No, legitimately. I don't know if you can even tell from like my energy lately, but it's changed. Like I feel so much more relaxed. Like my body, I feel so much more centered in my body. Been really stressed out lately. And so there are certain areas of my body, especially through my yoga practice, that things will like lock up. And I had an incredible 90-minute session with her where she was using like essential oils based on like what my needs were at the time. As she's going through, she's locating an area of tension in my body, and just like she's very gentle but persistent in that like for example, I had, a lot of tension like underneath my shoulder blade. And as she was sort of working through it, she was also talking to me about some things that were just like kind of going on in my life. And she's like, I can tell that this stuff is being like released. Like she's so intuitive and so connected. And she has some incredible clients. She's been doing it for years and years and years. So she's located in the like La Cañada area and in Montrose. And I highly, highly, highly recommend her. I'm also going to link her in the show notes too. Because like she's a dear friend of mine, and she's someone that I've loved for a very long time. But actually receiving this massage, I want other people to experience it. Like I want you to experience it. You especially too. We've talked about that. You need to go.
I'm not stressed out at all.
Oh,
at all.
Stop. You are.
So relaxed.
Also, hold on. You might be stressed out, but you know that you're like the chillest person that I know.
In a stressed out way?
Like even when you're stressed, you're so chill.
Well, I'm grateful for everything I have. It's working on that grateful thing. But however, I will be grateful for the massage, and that will be a second testimony.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe Amanda needs to come talk to our audience about the beauty of Reiki. And I think that we could incorporate that. It's an art, first of all. So
absolutely.
We support artists on this podcast.
Also, yes, absolutely. And it is a huge part of lifestyle, because like, how are you able to connect with yourself creatively or with what you want to say or what you want to express if you're like holding on to energy and you're not like allowing things to sort of flow through your body? I know I sound really woo-woo right now. I understand.
We're woo-woo. We live in California.
We live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's 78 degrees.
It's the beauty
December
of living in
1st.
LA. We can be woo-woo.
Yeah, I'm going to just like walk around with gratitude and allow some healing properties.
Exactly.
And one of those is incredible massage. So I do want to have her on here. Also, she's fascinating. Also, here's my favorite thing about Amanda. Not my favorite thing. She has so many incredible traits, but she's taller than me. I know. And like, I'm up here at 6'1". So like she's
taller than you.
Mm-hmm. And she's awesome. She's awesome. So anyway, I don't know how you like, that would probably be really intimidating for you to have two tall women on the sofa with you.
I don't know, intimidating. It's just going to make me look really short.
It will make you look really, yeah, it will make you look really small.
I don't know that I'm going to be intimidated. I've not developed a height complex yet. It's going to come if I keep hanging out with you. But
I know.
And your friends, obviously.
My small friends.
Hi, Shorty.
Listen, my boyfriend is not a super, super tall person. I think you guys are probably the same height. He might be a little bit shorter than you. But I think that there's nothing wrong with that.
No. By the way, you look very, very chic.
Thank you. Thank you. This is L'Agence. I've been wearing a little bit on the show. They're amazing. So a few episodes ago, I wore like a maroon suit. I've had like a green one. And then this is the showstopper. I love this suit. Also, the amount of fabric in these pants.
They're and it's tailored. Like it fits
beautifully
you
tailored.
beautifully.
Yeah. Super wide leg trouser.
Great quality.
Incredible quality. The fabric is gorgeous. The color is gorgeous. And it's actually not too hot.
Right.
Yeah, for being 70
well, it's cooling. It's cooling down. So we just had the peak. But the L'Agence is supporting the show, and they've been really incredible. And so we want to say thank you.
I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful all the time for them. That green velvet suit is incredible. This suit is incredible. Every time I wear this out, I get like the most compliments. I do feel like the center of attention in L'Agence every time I wear it.
Yeah, we'll make sure to include their website in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Because right now they have some. I mean, I looked again. They have some really beautiful.
And I'm shopping for holiday party dresses. Ooh! I'm trying to find something. I mean, I gotta get it like today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
coming fast.
It's coming up really fast.
I know. I thought that we had plenty of time, and suddenly I'm like, oh.
Nope.
Crunch time.
Anyway, I would probably be wearing L'Agence at the holiday party. Very excited. Anyway, okay. We'll also have a bunch of photos from the holiday party like next week and on our Instagram and all of that. So you get to hear all about it. Also, if you're like, oh, I want to come, DM us.
Yeah.
I can't promise you anything.
Send us a DM.
But send me a DM. Send me a DM on Instagram. We'll see what we can do. Okay, we should probably get into the episode. Yeah?
Of course.
So
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, so this episode is the first one from the episodes that we shot in San Francisco. And we were filming at DeSousa Hughes in the San Francisco Design Center. And so our first guest is Geoffrey DeSousa. You two have known each other for a long time.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
Yes, I think it goes back to 1998 or something like that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was not in kindergarten.
Hey, I wasn't in kindergarten either. In 98, I was listening to the Spice Girls. Thank you very much. Continue.
The what?
The Spice Girls.
Is that the Victoria Beckham thing?
Did you say, is that the Victoria Beckham thing?
Yeah.
We're not going there right now. I'm about to get really upset. What?
Did I dug a hole again?
Yes.
Just keep on, give me a shovel and I'll just, I probably should not be recording a podcast on Sunday. Obviously, Sunday is not my day.
No.
Okay, Spice Girls. Yes.
You don't know who the Spice Girls are?
Well, maybe I do and I forget. Oh, I'm sure I do. I was a big fan of them. Who is that? What?
Okay.
Okay.
So
we'll put them on.
Have known each other since the Spice
Since
Girls.
the Spice Girls were big.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is that what you remember of 1998? Is the Spice Girls?
Yes.
Huh.
There are other things as well. The movie Twister.
What am I missing?
I don't know. Where were you? What were you doing? Running a successful business.
I was busy. But I don't know what I remember of 1998. I don't know if Sheryl Crow. Do I remember Sheryl Crow?
Yes, you remember Sheryl Crow from then.
Yeah, I
think
remember
that's
Sheryl
when
Crow.
She had a great album that came out that year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That was also the first year that I went to 98 was the first year that oh my gosh, my first ever concert, which was Lilith Fair. And I saw Sheryl Crow perform. It was amazing. She had short hair back then. Really cool.
She was really cool. So she still is, I'm sure. So that's what I remember. And working, and yes. And so Jeff DeSousa, great friend of Kimberly Denman, our company, because he's been representing us for quite some time. A great personal friend to us too. And I can't wait to listen to the podcast. He was quite interesting.
He
and
was
funny.
great. He was really fun to have on. He shared a lot of his where his creativity comes from. The house that he lives in now, the way he described it, is so fun. Anyway, I don't want to keep dropping hints and
Yeah, we should
all
go.
that. We should just get to it.
Get to it. Let's go.
Welcome to Clutter Bravado. Today we are here with Geoffrey DeSousa in the San Francisco Design Center showroom. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm really good, thank
Great.
you. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm gonna probably cut in a few images of the showroom itself. It is gorgeous in here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, it is absolutely beautiful.
The new showroom.
Yes.
Yes.
In
Yes.
this specific
Yes.
space.
Yes.
Yeah. So where were you before?
So we were across the street in the other design center building.
Okay.
And the showroom is DeSousa Hughes, and we were in that location for 30 years, actually.
Wow.
We
okay.
took over a business, and in 99, we kind of took it over and opened it as DeSousa Hughes. So we were over there for 30 years, but we've owned the business for 25.
For 25. Okay. Wow, that's incredible. So what inspired the move over here?
They're kind of changing the usage of that building, and it was time for a change for us. Both my business partner and I were kind of like, what's next, sort of. We were feeling a little restless.
Yeah.
And every time that we grew across the street, we just had to kind of take the place right next to us. And so there was a lot of crossing hallways and going into separate little locations. And so this came up for us to be all under one roof, everything contiguous, and textiles and furniture and design and accounting and everything so it's really nice that we all kind of work in the same space now.
Yeah, and it is expansive. It's really big.
Good. Good. We're happy. It's actually a little less than we had across the street, but
Really?
it's about 26,000 square feet.
Okay.
And we had a little under 30 over across the street.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So in this space, you're working with a lot of designers, and one of them in particular is Kimberly
Yes.
Denman.
Yes.
Yes.
We've had Kimberly Denman since probably 2017, I would
Okay.
say. She was with Jean de Marie at that time, and we had represented Jean de Marie for a long time. And we're able to kind of be introduced to a couple of great lines through that relationship. And Kimberly has stayed on with us, and we've really kind of grown in the last few years with it, and have just gotten some great new floor samples.
Yeah. There are some really incredible pieces in here, especially this chair that you're sitting on.
Yes.
The cigar chair.
Yes, the
on
cigar
a
chair.
Swivel. Beautiful.
Swivel now. Pretty good.
Gorgeous. So how long have you two known each other?
I've known Laurent since 96, I think.
When I first opened up my shop in San Francisco, that's where I started. The whole history started. So it was, we drove by it today,
Yes.
and so we've known each other since '96.
I was buying antiques at Habitat. That's what I was doing. So I had moved here in 95, and I remember the project that I was working on was one of the first projects that I got in a magazine and got a cover for. It's a great house in Pacific Heights, and we bought quite a bit.
wow.
Yeah.
That's really, I like that origin story between you guys.
Good.
That's great. So you said that you moved here in 95. You were coming from the East Coast, right?
Yes,
Where
yeah.
exactly?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. I've lived in Boston, outside of Boston on the South Shore, and in New York as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still find yourself to be more kind of an East Coaster, right?
Without a doubt.
You can be here for 30 plus years and it's still, you're still from the East Coast. Your heart is still
There's
there.
a lot of amazing things about this city, but I am definitely still an East Coaster. And
Yeah.
we recently, my husband and I bought an apartment in New York during COVID, and so we get back there quite a bit, and we
that's
love
great.
it.
Yeah, where in New York?
In Union Square.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
so
really great spot.
It's great. It's
Nice.
the original Tiffany's building from 1870.
Stop
It's a
it.
very cool space. Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
Oh, that's like a piece of history too.
Yeah,
That's
very
really
nice.
neat. That's really neat. So out here, how would you say the difference? How would you describe the difference in design styles from the East Coast to San Francisco?
It's much more casual. It's definitely
It's more casual here.
more casual
Okay.
here, and more modern here.
Okay.
And I always kind of joke, people in Boston, they buy one Camelback sofa and then they never change it ever again. They recover it maybe, and that's it. But no, San Francisco, I find the design community here is really inspiring. It's always kind of changing and morphing into new directions. And there's great things about the tradition of the East Coast, but it's exciting to be part of the design world here.
Yeah, definitely. And also, since you've moved here and since you've been in the business, the scene, the feel, the vibe of San Francisco has changed drastically.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. I've talked about this before. Like in 90s San Francisco was like my ultimate like dream aesthetic. Yeah. And it's transformed so much since then. So what are some examples of how it's changed and why you think maybe that change has happened here?
There's all sorts of things with this city that is very tech related. So when there are ups and downs in that world, it affects us greatly.
Yeah, naturally.
I think as a sector of employment, it definitely gears younger towards things. So I think that allows us to be a little bit more creative in how we approach projects, and that people want things to be very different and don't expect it to kind of have to look the way things look compared to the East Coast or other locations. So there's a lot of creativity here, and so I think that trickles down into people's homes without a doubt. Architecture, interiors, art.
Yeah.
And it trickles into everything.
Yeah, there is a lot of really beautiful like classic architecture here that has a lot of the heritage of the city. Yeah. Have you had the opportunity to work on some of those homes to maintain some of that heritage?
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I've some really amazing homes in Pacific Heights, Presidio Heights. I live in an 1874 Victorian. So, there's a lot here that that kind of is what reminds me of the East Coast, actually.
Yeah.
There's some, Pacific Heights and Presidio Heights is, there's incredible architecture.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredible.
Your home, can you tell me more about it?
So it's incredibly narrow.
Really?
Incredibly narrow.
Okay.
It's a small Victorian in Pacific Heights that I bought back in 2012 at the bottom of the market, and renovated it. It's 3 stories. But I really wanted to pay homage to the architecture. Yeah. And so, I'm modernized it up a bit, but brought in moldings and things that hadn't been touched since 1959.
Wow.
And in 59, they stripped it of a lot of great elements, and so I put some of those back. But I kind of feel I find it kind of sad when people go in and just gut a Victorian,
Absolutely.
and put in glass staircases and everything else. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing that job was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a resonance in old wood and Victorian homes, and that I think that in a Victorian especially, it's one of my favorite kinds of homes. So the way that a home sounds as you walk through it, as you interact with it. Do you have stained glass?
Sure. I don't have any stained glass. No,
okay.
There wasn't any in this house. My house was
Yeah.
built by 2 brothers in 1874, the Hinkle brothers, and it's 5 sister homes that all share a wall.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
And so it's a little tough on the noise.
Okay,
But
fair.
and the entire house is 16 feet wide. 16 feet wide. Okay.
It was magical.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine that right now.
It's 3 stories.
Yeah.
But it has 11 and a half foot ceilings, which really helps a lot.
Yes,
but it's a
absolutely.
narrow Victorian townhouse.
But we had to. San Francisco is small.
Yeah.
And it was not a place where you could expand.
Definitely.
Your architect. Besides for, Pacific Heights but in the city,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. How did you find that house?
Well, it was for sale at the end of kind of the financial crisis in 2012. It came on the market at a ridiculous price.
Oh, wow.
And I talked to my friend who's also my realtor. He's also a client, and said, I don't care what condition it's in, at that price, we have to buy in this neighborhood.
Yes.
We have to get it. And so luckily we had to write a letter, and the owner of the house had seen some design work that I did at a local show house.
Oh, that's great.
And loved the idea of me redoing her house.
Yeah.
So that was kind of gave us a little bit of a leg up, and that's how I got it.
How different was it to do a project for yourself than it is for someone else?
It was tough. It's tough. I'm a tough client, I'm constantly thinking that, I can do something else. And I love a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of pride myself with our firm that that's something that we're incredibly flexible, and can do traditional and modern. And I tend to like, a mix, a mix I love, but I do love, no matter where I'm working on, I think you need to pay attention to the architecture.
Absolutely.
I think it's funny because I don't know if it's also a little bit of our generation, in the sense that we grew up, you bought antiques, you shopped, you went, and it's a little bit the message that we've been hearing and giving out is, the importance of seeing things, of sitting in things, of visiting auction, because it is textile, but we have developed a taste that's a lot more, because I see the offering here now with Thierry Lemaire or John Pomp, or which is really modern, and same thing, plus the antique, plus the Victorian.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like it starts swirling.
It's true. There's so many things, so many different looks that are available to you now,
Yeah.
and the license to kind of do things completely avant-garde and very different. The mix is what it's all about.
Yeah. I love that. So speaking of the mix, you have clients in New York, in Palm Springs, in San Francisco, obviously. So all of those areas are obviously like quite different, as we spoke about. What are some of the things that your clients in like Palm Desert, for example, are looking for that maybe your clients here aren't?
Well, it's really funny because a lot of people think they lump California into one kind of
definitely
idea,
not.
you
Yeah.
know. I know when I see those people from Ohio walking the streets in July with their shorts, and I'm like, no, this is not warm. This is not warm California summer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But the thing about the desert is, it is pretty much year-round living outdoors.
Yeah.
And the sun is deadly on fabrics. And so you really have to be careful about what you're using with that.
Yeah.
And indoor-outdoor living it's an overused term, but it is there. I mean, the doors are open constantly, and you're eating outside in February, and you're eating outside, and, you're not too much in August, but unless there's some great shade. But it really is the climates here, and even in the city, the microclimates are very different.
Yeah.
So that really depends on how that really dictates how you design a home.
Mm-hmm. So you've grown so much to move into this space. Where do you see yourself growing from here?
I'm getting kind of long in the tooth, so there's not probably going to be a lot of other things. But always looking for new design work. We're always looking to find new artists to represent. I'm heading to New York on Wednesday, and my business partner and I have a couple of meetings with two different artisans in Brooklyn that we're talking to, furniture makers that would love to bring here. So that is really... I love that part of this.
Yeah.
That part of kind of giving an artist an ability to come into our showroom and really support their passion.
Yes.
is what really keeps me going with all of this, and my business partner as well. It's what we love.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the community that is built within the design industry, specifically in Los Angeles, but also up here because there's so much community. I mean, we're going to be seeing how many different people since we're up here, that are all people that you've worked with and that you've worked with. And so in that sort of like supporting through your showroom, it seems like there's also a really tight-knit group here that you're sort of pulling from different areas of the country.
There is definitely, and there's some amazing artisans. The sofa that we recently did for Kimberly and Laurent is an incredible sofa that the gratitude that we did from this local artist who does felting, hand makes it all on her own.
Wow.
She came here with a bag of pillows for us to look at. This was a few years ago, and was like, oh, would you consider having our pillows? And I was thrilled. They're so gorgeous, all of her textiles. And so I said, yes. And I said, how many of these do you have? And she said, I think she told me a couple dozen or whatever. And I said, I'll take all of them. And she was working in graphic design and not loving it. And now she's in all sorts of different showrooms. And we have made it so she can do what she wants to do in felting full time and has left that job.
And I've never worked. We've never worked like that with something. The fabric is custom made, so we had to send, we had to do the sample and send her, the mock-up. She did the fabric for specifically for the sofa, and that quality was absolutely outstanding. But what I love with Geoffrey and Eric is that not only do your eye to discover, but then there's a mentorship that goes with it. That's just really key, and I think that you've mentored so many people. In the business, that's
the part that we love. I think that we were one of Jonathan Browning's first showrooms. We were John Pomp's first showroom, I believe. When I met John, it was at ICFF in New York, and he was a glass blower in Brooklyn with maybe one or two employees, and now he has a 100,000 square foot facility in Philadelphia, and furniture and lighting, and he's all over the world and taking over the world with all sorts of things. But there's a lot of different people like that who have come through the doors here. Rosemary Hallgarten, who's really well known in our industry. I remember going to Rosemary's house, and she had a couple of women hooking rugs in her guest bedroom, and and now she's worldwide, and textiles and rugs and everything. So that's been something that we're really proud of here.
That is really inspiring too, because for my story, I'm learning as we go, and I'm learning from talking to people and talking to designers, furniture designers, and wanting to see what that path has looked like for them, and through that allowing a little bit of grace for what my own path looks like. So as you're mentoring like sort of newer designers and artists, what is something that you find yourself helping each of them with? What is like a common thread that goes through?
Really trying to put together a cohesive. One-offs are lovely, but you also need to have kind of a cohesive line to really be able to show someone something. In showrooms, if you only have one piece, they can sometimes get a little lost. And so you really have to help guide someone to put together a collection that speaks of who they are, but that is also going to answer some problems some questions for designers to solve problems for their clients. And so if you can kind of do all of that and help them out with the infrastructure of how to do billing and the materials that they need to have to be able to give to designers, samples and tear sheets and custom quoting, and how to be able to do all of that and interact with the designer that's incredibly important, because we have a lot of clients here, but we have about 50 core clients that really are the core of our business, and keep coming back and using these artisans in many different ways, and really kind of pushing them to step outside of their comfort zone a little and start to, custom do a different dining room table or a different bed or different fabric. And that expands what these artisans can do.
So what the designers are sort of looking for, that pretty frequently influences how the artists are creating their furniture, their art, their decorative objects, their lighting. Do you find that that's the case, that a lot of designers have sort of influenced that for you?
Yeah, they do. It's for us, we don't have as much interaction. I have a little bit in Southern California, but we rely a lot on. That's why we rely a lot on the showrooms. And I think that. I think the beauty of Geoffrey and Eric, which really were one of the first ones to have this cohesion or this partnership with artisans of communicating, and you communicate a lot, being like, I need that, I need these. What do you think about these? That has translated with other showrooms that you've mentored throughout the country who have that same philosophy of calling, the maker and be like, hey, I need these, or what about these? And so it's key. I mean, and that's been a huge part, huge influence of yours. Because they've worked with.
And I think we've also been incredibly fortunate to have some salespeople with us who have been with us since the beginning.
Yeah.
Dan Wings has been with us since 1999. He was the first employee that I hired.
Dan is a gem.
Yeah, he is. But to have all of them, because they're the link when the designer comes in and the designer has an idea. It's the salesperson who can talk to the designer and get them excited about, oh, well, maybe Kimberly Denman can do this. Maybe Altura can do this. Maybe Lieg can do this. And so, and really kind of go down a path of creating something very one of a kind. Because I really feel that for a trade showroom to really continue to stay in business in the next several years, it's going to be more customization.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, because people want things that are theirs, that they have a part of, and it's what sets them apart. It's what sets designers apart, because everything is available to everyone now, and so I find that there's a lot of interiors and a lot of things that are becoming very homogenized in how it looks. And so it's these artisans who can do these custom capabilities that are really what are giving designers and projects its personality.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. First, thank you. You just gave me so much inside knowledge, and I really appreciate that. And I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Just like you seem so scared. Don't worry.
Just take the fifth.
So when you are outside of the showroom, when you are not designing, what are you doing? What does your life look like?
My career is a lot of who I am, for better or worse. Okay, it is. My husband is an interiors and architecture photographer.
Yes.
Okay, he's in magazines around the world, so we're always kind of talking about it. But we travel. In 3 weeks, I'm leaving to go on a. I'm trekking with the silverbacks in Uganda in 3 weeks. Yes.
Really?
We're first trekking with the chimpanzees, then the silverback gorillas, and then we're doing something with tree climbing lions. So traveling is super important for me, and we did a safari a couple of years ago, which kind of was life changing for me, and so that's kind of set us off on a path of. I don't just want to be, walking through cathedrals all the time in Europe. I want to do some things that are going to shake things up a bit.
Yeah. And also, I imagine having those experiences influences the things that you love.
Without
influences your taste in so many different ways.
Without a doubt.
It's absolutely. Yeah. What is an example of a place that you've traveled to and how that has influenced a specific design for you?
We are part of a group of showrooms that throw a party in Paris for this event that they have called Deco Off. And we throw this party in Paris every January. And it's called the American Party in Paris.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Started off with, 50 people. And now last year we sold out in 6 minutes and we had 700 and something people.
Oh, my goodness.
With 300 people on a waiting list. It's at the Hotel de Ville. So that time of me being in Paris, there's no place for me than walking the streets of Paris to be inspired. Shops and artisans and that are incredible. And that really, for me, every time I come back from there, I'm thrilled about something.
I have the same experience in Paris personally. Every time that I go there, and I find myself so inspired by the lifestyle, the color, the just overall vibe of everything there. It's such a beautiful city.
Everything.
Jeffrey brought back Thierry Lemaire here to California.
Yes.
That's that's the first showroom in West Coast, right?
Yeah, Thierry Lemaire. We have his collection here now. I just found this amazing ceramicist in the south of France that has never been in the United States either, Alain Desuarte, that is doing some beautiful pieces that we're having here ceramic pieces on kind of cut wood posts that these elements sit on. When you look in his apartment, he's looking out at the sea and all these windswept trees, and all these pieces kind of have that same feeling. He does drawings, does ceramics. So between that and Liège, and there's quite a bit of French influence actually right now in our showroom, which I love.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get a little sassy with you.
Go ahead.
What is like a current trend or something that you're seeing a lot of that you cannot wait to pass on? Like that people will start letting go of something. What is that thing?
Well, gray is done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gray is done.
Yes.
Thank
you for
I
saying
think
that.
gray can be beautiful in so many ways, and I hate that that's part of it. But it's kind of been done in a way now that it's just too much.
Okay.
And there are some furniture shapes that I won't name names, but I could say, I'm done. And there's a lot of retail out there right now that I think is, it needs to change. People need to funk things up a bit.
Yeah.
That part of things is a little sad to me, because in the States we've lost a lot of really great little creative shops because of kind of these middle market retailers that I won't mention names.
Sure. We're all thinking it.
But it's two letters. So that has, I think, really changed how things are. And it's a shame, because there used to be a lot of really incredible small shops here that you could find things. And that's what gives an interior and a home a personality.
Yes.
And so I love, I want people to be hunting out when they're traveling and finding more of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. I mean, because it's gonna feel the podcast is gonna feel like Laurent wants people young designers to go to shops and showrooms. But I just keep on. People need to come talk to, Dan or you. People need to come sit. People need to come be creative in shops, showrooms. Be it here or anywhere. See the fabric. And become, because I think that we have an issue with, even as a furniture designer, we have to be careful not to get into, that's what I see, so that's what I'm going to try to, because that's what becomes popular. And there's this thing of being in the middle of it, in person, that helps you be creative. And, for you, it's like, you go to a showroom, you talk to someone who has, 30 years experience, who can help, not because you need it, but it's just that, two brains. And I think that's why 24,000 square feet, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's, I think the other reason why people need to come out and see things, people are sitting behind a computer all the time.
Yes.
And a lot of times designers are not getting out of larger firms and getting out to places. And the internet's amazing. Pinterest and everything else, I use it every day in our firm, but you need to come and touch and sit and be next to something and learn about scale.
Yeah.
That's the only way to learn about scale, is to see it, sit in it, have your client sit in it, have your client touch the velvet and touch the cotton and touch the linen and see what it feels like.
Yes.
It's super important.
And I think that once you, because if you come to a building, like here where you have, needler and, then you create an environment that's really unusual. It's not just, because I think that we get that internet, we get stale. Looking at images, it just doesn't. I don't think it nurtures creativity. I think that it fills a need. It makes it a little easier to, maybe have access to more, but it also gets you a little stale.
Definitely. And it's great for people to come in and learn that everything isn't available immediately because there's someone actually sitting in a studio somewhere designing this piece,
Yes.
touching it,
Yes.
making it. There's a
Making it.
series of people who are making it, forging the metal, weaving the fabric, building the frame. All of this takes time, and when you get this piece of furniture that's been made specifically for you, how fantastic is that?
It's so special.
Yeah.
Definitely. I will say that in my, so I have an apartment in the Valley in LA. And when I first moved into the apartment, this was 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I just needed to get something. I just needed to put furniture in my place. I did not consider like the creativity of it or how I really wanted to look. I'm just like, I just need a couch. I just need a sofa. And I'm very tall. And I have very long legs, and
Problem I've never had.
the sofa that I got for my living room, I mean, measurement wise, sure, this makes sense. I bought it off of the internet, and when I got it to my house, I sat on it. I'm like, oh, this is all wrong. This is all wrong, and there's so much that now that I'm learning that I'm like, oh yeah, maybe the thing that I should have done is actually just gone into a store. And that, granted, this was all like mid-pandemic, right? So, so there are fewer options here and there, but to be able to actually like sit down, to actually feel it, to see whether or not my legs fit on my couch is something that's so necessary because I made an investment in that couch.
Seat depth is important.
Yes, absolutely, and also. The length. I thought that I was going to be fine with it. I'm like, it's a little longer than me, so it should be fine. No. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Not at all. My boyfriend hates my couch, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Cannot stand
Gotta
it.
go.
His couch is great. His mom is also an interior designer, so it makes sense that with that intuition that this is how you actually shop for something like that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Something I would have benefited from.
Definitely.
But it'll definitely go into my next one.
That's good.
Very good. Very good.
But we went to the workshop a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so it was also fun for Elyse to see, a piece.
How it happens.
Yeah, how it happens.
Yeah, what the process actually looks like.
Definitely.
There was a point where it really all just like gelled for me, where I had this idea of like, oh yes, I know that they draw it out and then they design the fabric and the wood base and like everything that goes into it, but actually seeing someone in the back carving wood,
Yes.
seeing someone like putting the foam on a sofa, seeing someone sewing the seams. Yeah. Like there's something so special about that had I not actually walked in there and seen it, I probably wouldn't have had an understanding of like how much really goes into this and how special all of these pieces are. There's something really, really beautiful about that I see the value in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see those people who have really worked hard to learn a trade.
Yeah.
And take such pride in what they're doing.
Yes.
And that you see that, yes, it takes 14 weeks to get that chair.
Yes, it does.
Because there's like a dozen people who work on it.
Yeah.
And so it's lovely to see that and kind of learn that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So there are 3 questions that I ask all of my guests, and I'm going to ask them.
Okay,
of you
go
now.
ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Can I plead the 5th? Is this like Andy Cohen?
No.
No.
That one you just answer.
All right, I'll answer.
You can lie.
All right, good. All right.
Okay, first question. What is the messiest place in your home?
The messiest place in my home. Oh, I'm going to get killed for this. So I got married 7 years ago at 55.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
And my little narrow Victorian that I love was just me and my little 9-pound dog. And then my 220-pound, 6'1" photographer husband moves in. And he has a room that I never go into. It's on a lower floor. I don't even go down to that floor. I don't know anything about it. I don't ever want to see it. That is definitely the messiest.
Okay.
And, you might not want to open some closet doors in my house.
That's where the skeletons are. Yeah, got you.
Rest of it looks pretty good. Closets, not so much.
Amazing. I love it. Okay.
You got to stop. Bergdorf needs. You need to stop walking by Bergdorf.
Exactly.
Second question.
Yes.
When you first walk into a place, what is the first thing that you notice? Whether, I mean, it can be this space before you moved into it, or it could be your home or a home you've designed.
Yeah, I think there's a natural vibe already when you walk into a space that has to do with the light, it has to do with the architecture, it has to do with all of that. And it's really funny because for years I just assumed that everyone was in tune to that. Okay, so I think that when you're in tune to that and you can really play up those great kind of inherent attributes to a room, whether they're light or whether they're dark or whether it's moody or whether it's, to really play into that, I think is very important. So I would say architecture and light immediately hits me and sends me in a direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that answer a lot. Last question. What is your favorite space, either in your home or in a home you've designed?
Oh, God.
We've set up that it's not the room downstairs.
Yeah, it's not going to be that
Definitely
room.
not the room.
That's
not
not
the
gonna be
lower
that
level
room.
of the home.
So let's see. I've done quite a few different spaces that I really love. This apartment that I just did for myself in New York, I love. I walk in there and it's kind of a funny space because it has 14-foot ceilings, 14-foot cast iron arched windows that are really great in the living room and in the bedroom.
Wow.
But I was selling a house in the desert to be able to buy this. And so there were a lot of things that I had at the house in the desert that I said, well, I need to kind of make this work in New York. And with a few tweaks, it just all kind of worked.
Wow.
And I really, when I unlock the door to that place when I go to visit, I feel very different than I do when I'm at home. And I love having that feeling.
Yeah.
And I love when I hear from a client, once they go into a project that we've completed, that they have that same feeling.
Yeah.
So, there isn't just one place. I mean, I think any project that you do that I think that can really change how you feel is the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I mean, it's very your place here and your place in New York are very different.
Completely different.
And the setting is very different. But it's amazing how different there's two Geoffrey. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel more me in that space.
In New York.
Yeah. I do. Here when I bought this house, I had just had kind of a health scare, and I think I had just ended a 19-year relationship.
Oh, wow.
And I think I was kind of cocooning and nesting a bit when I did this house. So I was very safe in my choices when I did this house in San Francisco. So it's much more safe and traditional. And when I did Palm Springs, when I did New York, it's much freer and it's much more me. I felt that it's a lot more freedom that I have there than I have here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really great, though, that you can, when you go to New York, you can leave San Francisco Jeff here.
Definitely.
Go be New York Jeff over
That's
there.
right.
I love
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
It's
good.
Broadway too.
It's good. Yeah, it's Broadway. Yeah. I know it's really strange. A gay decorator likes Broadway. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, you're the only one.
I know. I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, I don't think I know
Yeah,
of any other ones.
we don't have any other
We
ones.
definitely
No. We
didn't
had
have
dinner-
them all for dinner.
Yeah,
the
we
other
had
night.
dinner for dinner on Friday. We had dinner on Friday. Thomas Lavin, shout out to Thomas, was here with Destin, and around the table there was a lot of talk about Broadway, to the point that I was, when you're, I mean, obviously, when I moved here, I could understand the language, but the reference were, and this time on Friday, I'm like, 30 years later, I'm still there.
Still trying to figure it out.
I got lost. There was
a moment at dinner where everyone was talking about movies and different actors and different performances and who was here and who was at the Ford Theater and and there was one moment where I just see Laurent just sitting like this, and I'm like, "You good?" He's like, "I have no idea what's going on."
So you
But it's great.
You're not the only one.
You are definitely not alone in that. That's amazing.
True.
Jeff, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
sitting
for
down with
having
us
us.
today. This is wonderful, and we're gonna be here in the showroom for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Getting everybody in.
Lots
so,
of great,
yeah.
a lot of great designers too. It
Lot
should
of
be a
great
lot of fun.
designers. Yes.
But
Well,
thank you so much for
Yeah.
opening up that. And it is, if it's my first time here since you opened, and really my hats off to you. It looks fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you
really
very
does.
much. Thank
It's
you.
really
the
phenomenal.
light, the display, the offering. It really. I think that you elevated somehow.
Thank you.
It really reads.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
We're really happy here. We
Yeah.
really are.
So thank you so
It's
much.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks
a lot.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.